Hola, hola, Ale. Hey everyone, Geshe-la has arrived and he's circumambulating, so if we can all find our spots. Okay, we can get ready to greet Geshe-la.
Okay, please turn to page 34 in the Gold Prayer Book, and we'll recite Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times, and then the Medicine Buddha stanza and mantra, and then the 4 measurables in English. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata mune mune Munaye soha. Te ata mune mune munaye soha. Bhagawan, with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispel of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha at this light. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, Raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, Raja samugate soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate So Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. I'll turn to page 37, and we'll chant the verse of praise and mantras, first for Chain Razik and then for Green Tara. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings, to you, Chain Razik, all seeing one, I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tara liberates from cyclic existence. Tara liberates from the 8 fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu re Soha. 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 Now please go back to page 34, and Geshe will lead us in the refuge and Bodhicitta prayer.
Sanje
Chudan Soki Chonam La Chanchu Badu Tani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyan Ki Pesanam Gi Dola Pencho Sanke Tu Basho
Sanje
Chudan Soki Chonam La Chanchu Badu Tani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyan Ki Pesanam Gi Dola Pencho Sanke Tu Basho
Sanje
Chedon Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyan Gi Pesernam Gi Dola Penchu Sange Tu Pasho.
Santa Allah Memenami Achi Omboda Jajin Lazo Chuji Chola Chawa Chebonama Sanje Sura Rando Chuji Devi Juyo Dedara Cheja Tambe Chunye Chinen Dirishi Namala Yagana Luna Nigeria, the Monana Megana, and Wagunjana, and Tamje Kedo, Dake Chetan to Conga to the years on the Tawa Tamje Bombe, Tambe Chunet, the Quatam Tama, Chance.
Okay, the children can be released to the children's program and follow Allie out. Y'all have fun.
Good morning. Good morning. Maybe short introductions, please. Short introductions. Yeah. Good morning, Weldabatenda Lamo. Good morning, Chukila. Very good to see you again, Yinji. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty tired, but I'm happy to be here, Geshe-la.
Yeah. Good morning, Paul Cameron. Good morning, children. Thank you very much for translating. Good morning, Marcelo Fernanda. Fernanda, how's your Tibetan dance? Oh, yeah. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Pandit Japati. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Nagarjuna.
Okay, if everyone can go ahead and make their way back to their seats, we'll go ahead and get started.
Good
Buenos
morning.
días, Ale. Buenos días a todos.
Buenos días, Suzanne. Thank you very much. Maybe short meditations. Begin with short meditation. Okay. As I mentioned, so this we have been doing these meditations. Please don't think why we are doing this again and again, because we want to become familiar with these meditations for the sake of peaceful mind. So it's important. So meditation that needs to be done again and again. It's not like some kind of like education. Meditations, in order to get the most out of the meditations that we need to do again and again, so then we become good at meditations. So then we become very familiar with the meditations. So then eventually it will produce some result. Okay. So this meditation, In the first, this meditation will make our mind calm. Then hopefully the calmness produce. There's a sequence. First, mind needs to be calmed down. So then after that, the second level, then will be peace within the mind. First, the mind needs to be calmed down. So the reason why mind is not settled, because it's not sitting still, it's moving all the time, it's moving. Many different thoughts that make our mind unsettled. So here, Nawa Pimpi, Nawa appearance. Just think about like mirror, no reflections, zero reflections. But it has ability, if you put something there, it will reflect there. That mirror has ability to reflect everything. Anything that you put, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything will reflect there simultaneously. That means the life is capable to have many thoughts. Or like could be like mirror, no thoughts, means no reflections. Nawa Pempi, that's what is Nawa Pempi. The object here is not this, is not that, it's just like mirror. It's not nothing to look, nothing to analyze, nothing to see. It's just as it is. Nawa Pempi nganyala reto laso namdog re expectations. They should not have expectations. Concern that related to the past, concern that related to now, concern or worry that related to the future, none. Nothing to analyze, there's nothing to analyze, just pause. Here, the mindfulness is very strong. It's not like you are just dozing or sleeping or like fainted out. It's not like that. You are fully awake. Your mindfulness is very strong. It's very strong mindfulness, very much needed. Okay? Just think that the baby is looking at the mirror with no reflections. Not worry about the detail, just see as it is, like baby looking at things. The best way to place our mind on that appearance is like baby. No opinion, no story, nothing, just see as it is. How much effort is needed for this meditation is totally up to you. Generally speaking, this meditation should be like bird gliding in the sky. Sometimes flip Need it not all the time. Sometimes a little bit flip, so then glide, like that. Throughout the meditation, when thoughts arise, simply recognize them, don't fight. Don't follow, don't fight, simply recognize them. Eventually, these meditations become like still, clear water. All the dust has been settled down in the bottom of the water, meaning the thoughts that become subconsciousness. Only things that's left is being aware, awareness, that's being aware of appearances. Only consciousness that's left is awareness, being aware of the appearances. Again, one more time, being aware, being aware of the appearances, which is like mirror with no reflections. Nothing to see, nothing to find, nothing to analyze. Just pause. No expectations, no concern, no worry. Just pause. No pressures. This meditation is like bird gliding in the sky. Let all the thought submerge into this water. Likewise, all the dust settles down in the bottom of the water. If the water is not moving, water itself will separate the dust and the water, nature of water. Similarly, awareness, same thing. Then eventually the meditation becomes like still, clear water. Once we reach to that level, then mind becomes calm. Then you will experience peace within the mind. This is the best meditation, best method or technique for beginner, meaning someone who never meditated before. This method is very helpful, or the best, you could say the best, to focus or concentrate. Once we start to concentrate, then our mind comes down, so then we experience peace within the mind, okay? That's the temporary benefit. Then what is the ultimate benefit? Ultimate benefit is to hoping to see the ultimate nature of awareness. So right now what we are experiencing conventional reality of our awareness. That's what it is. So hope these meditations will lead when it comes down like still clear water. So then after that, small fish in that water, navigating underneath the water without disturbing the water is not moving, the fish is moving. So that fish is more like wisdom than that trying to analyze the ultimate nature of the awareness. So then basically you hoping to understand the true truth, conventional truth, ultimate truth. So then it's become like understanding, of course, experience of true truth. So then they become like two wings of the bird, then you can fly with less effort. So that's the whole idea, okay? So now then maybe, Linda, how are we doing with the self-love meditations thing?
It's going well. I should have a draft to you like early this week, Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, good. Yeah. So then based on that, so then we meditate because so many people contributed. What I'm hoping to create some kind of outline, so then all the message, I think whatever you said is all been written down. So one person can just read, say, oh, self-respect. So then read. So then from my side, what I can do is like maybe what kind of Buddhist teachings can fit in that self-respect. So then hopefully we create beautiful meditations, self-love meditation, okay? So first, there's two questions here, so I want just to read. And also, of course, this is going to be more like, not my answer, it's going to be more like Q&A. So I'm not sure who asked this question. It seems that self-love contradicts what Buddhism and Christianity teach, and maybe other religions as well, that we should put others before ourselves. The one part of the question. So, second part, if we don't put others before ourselves, then we have a self-cherishing mind, a selfish, self-grasping, egocentric, etc., etc. So, this contradiction is difficult to sort out. So, please comment on this. So that's the question. No, putting other before yourself, it doesn't. The Buddhism doesn't begin like this. Buddhism does not begin like that. Buddha's meditation, Buddha's teaching. So, so then of course you can contribute. So, in Buddhism, the entire Buddha's teachings here, there's like 84,000, I think, word, or maybe more like word, 84,000, not page, 84,000 word the Buddha taught. It's all here. So then, Lama Atisha, here you see left side statue. This is an Indian master, came to Tibet from India, kind of like re-established Buddha Dharma back in Tibet because kind of been deteriorated. So he summarized, he invented this word called Lamrim. He taught this very brief text compared to thousands of pages. His book has maybe close to 20 pages. It's not 1,000 pages, 100 pages. So he basically summarized everything into this short text. It's called, this is for the sake of knowledge, short text called Light of the Path. That's the name of the text, Light of the Path. That's what it's called. That text was composed in Tibet by Lama Atisha in Tibet. So that's called Lamrim, the name of the text. That's how the Lamrim, word Lamrim has been invented officially. All the subjects exist in Buddha's lifetime, but there's no this word called Lamrim. Lam is the path. Rim is stages of the path. Basically, those stages of the path is to achieve enlightenment. That's what this stage is for. How to reach this highest level of happiness called enlightenment in Buddhism. So the line divided in 3 sections. First is called small scope. What's inside there? You're just trying to learn like your own existence, life. Causality, impermanent. And that very teachings begin with something, first and foremost important things. The second topic in the Lamrim is to see life as something very precious. That's how it begins, putting other before yourself. First need to see that your life is precious. That's quite important, what is called precious human life. And people meditate on that long period of time, so make sure they understand that what it really means, why this life is so precious and so meaningful, so difficult to find. This is all truth. This is all truth. But problem is we don't see. So that through this meditation, we're trying to educate ourselves how to see the preciousness within yourself. And every single day, remind yourself that life is so precious, so meaningful, so difficult to find. And there's tons of reasons why it's so precious, why it's so meaningful, why it's so difficult to find. There's many, like information underneath each outline there. So then you meditate. So that's all the teachings in the first level of the Lamrim. Second level, then causalities, like samsara, all of that. So basically, need to understand, according to Buddha's teachings, in order to put other self before you, sincerely, genuinely, you need some knowledge. Without that, you can't do it. Sincerely, genuinely, because it doesn't make sense. So how you do, according to Lamrim teachings, that you study what is samsara, what is that this called samsara, or what is that? You study them, then you reflect on them, so then it makes sense. It makes sense. For example, human. It's not perfect. Some people may say, oh, you should be perfect, you should do things perfectly. But there's no such a thing called perfections within the samsara. There is no perfections. Everybody's trying to achieve that, but within the samsara, there's no perfection. It's so important to understand that, otherwise it generates all kinds of unnecessary stress, anxiety, fear, based on what? Basically, sorry to say, ignorance. So need more wisdom. So human problems is not perfect. It is not perfect. It is good, but it's not perfect. Why is it not perfect? You are talking of your own existence, even though it's so precious, so meaningful, so difficult to find, but it's not perfect. Why is it not perfect? Oh, it has complications. Complications at the birth. A lot of complications there. Many things could go wrong, a lot of complications. We don't born with perfections. We're born with difficulties. So then after that, we get old. Nobody gets younger. It will get old, whether you like or not. That's the part of the package. You need to understand. So then we get sick, then eventually die. Every human, not just you, every human. So when you look around, every human has these issues. So that creates the foundations for your sympathy, for your compassion. It's not based on how you look, what you dress, where you live, what kind of job you have. Your compassion is nothing to do with that. Your compassions go much deeper level. First four human complications. Losing loved one, expected, sooner or later happens. Encountering something that you don't like, that was also expected. It's part of the human life. Complications. Wanting something so badly, no guarantee. There's no guarantee. You can work for that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't hope. You can hope, but you need to understand there's no guarantee. It may goes the way you think. It may not go the way you think. There's no guarantee. What's that? Human complications. Number 8. Number 9, feeling of loneliness is there. So now you kind of understood your existence. That is my existence. So now you kind of have to get some idea about what is samsara, nature of samsara. You have some ideas. Oh, there is no perfections. So I shouldn't worry too much about perfections, at the present moment. But we can hope for perfections. In Buddhism, the perfection is nirvana. the liberations, fully enlightenment. There's the perfections, no problems. Here, we all have issues. So then when you look at another living being we see on our planet called animals, when you look at them, they also have problems too. So then there's another species that we may not able to visually see them, doesn't mean they don't exist. They do exist. They also have their share of problem too. So now, no matter which direction you look, samsara, everybody's struggling. So that is the knowledge that you gain studying samsara. So that knowledge becomes the foundation for universal compassion. So from there, now putting others before you, it makes some sense. Sympathizing, yeah, everybody has problems. So when you see somebody falling down, you sympathize because why it's very problem is very obvious. We don't go, oh, wonderful day you fall down, that's the happiest day. We don't say that. We say, are you okay? Human nature. It's not based on religious belief, it's just human nature. So now you don't have to that, because your understanding is much deeper than that. Everybody has issues. So you use that as a knowledge, as the foundation to grow your sympathy, sympathizing, sympathy, compassion, loving kindness. Other hand, why I should do that for them? I don't know. They are I don't know them, they are strangers. We think it's our idea. We think we have no relationship. So now we need to think again about this life. Everything begins from this life. Enlightenment, liberation, freedom, everything begins with this life. It doesn't begin with somewhere else in Nepal. It begins with this life. So now you rethink, is this the first time you become human? Ask yourself questions. Just ask. Is this the first time you become human being, or what? How's about before this? I'm not sure how to say. Before this, what are you? Huh? How you say? Huh? What were you? Yeah, there could be many questions. What were you? What are you? Just ask. What's your answer? I don't remember. That's not the best answer. That's easy to say. What's your answer? I'm not trying to convince you to believe something like before this. You have to figure it out. Just think, before this I was tree in California, one of the redwood tree. So then I just become human. How that work? Just think. So maybe there is relationship between us. You may not understand, you may struggle to understand, but needs to analyze. So now, in Buddhism, the four immeasurable prayers that we say every morning before the class, may all sentient beings, have happiness, the cause of happiness. How you get this idea? Studying, educating myself, I realize I've received so much from everybody. Everyone in this room, I've received so much, not just one time, so many times. And that kind of knowledge gained by studying Buddhist philosophy, Buddha's teaching. So in your mind, there's a relationship. Then that knowledge kind of allows you that you kind of bear some responsibility to help them. It's the right things to do, it's the best things to do. When it's come down, your own happiness is the best thing to do. Putting down someone else is not the right thing to do. It's not the best thing to do. Why is not the best thing to do? It doesn't help you. If you are seeking happiness, this doesn't help. Looking down, putting down somebody else doesn't help, doesn't produce peaceful mind, doesn't produce happiness within the mind. Why you do? It's not just religious business. It's very practical things. So it takes, it kind of needs to build up. First needs to start from here, okay? So that's just, I want to explain that to you on the first section. So then please, next, there's one more question here. So then second, then you can contribute. On the put other before ourselves, needs to understand why you do that, needs to understand. You have to have some knowledge. It's not just a wonderful idea, it's just probably the best thing to do, but you need to understand why you do that. Are you doing this for yourself or are you doing this for religious belief, mere religious belief? There's many different people do. Or I totally understood this is the best thing to do, like that. So now second one, that's kind of complicated. If we don't put other before ourselves, so then we have a self-cherishing mind. So now let's talk about that. The first question is, do self needs to be cherished or not? Do the self needs to be cherished or not? Take care or not? You answer. Is there self-cherishing? I don't think so. It's not unethical. There's very ethical things to do, that you need to take care of yourself. As a Buddhist, that's why I'm hoping to achieve enlightenment, to help myself first. There's different types of bodhicitta. First, bodhicitta like king. You become well, so then you take care of your subject. Or bodhicitta like shepherd. You put all the animals before you, you go after the animals. Shepherd doesn't go before the animals, then it doesn't make sense. You have to look after the animals, you have to guide them, you go after. So there's a shepherd like bodhicitta, then help them, all of them, so then last I become enlightened. There's bodhicitta is like has the altruistic attitude. There's different types. One that, maybe I should get enlightened first, then help them. Another one say, okay, maybe help all of them, then I should be the last in line. This is all done with voluntarily, deliberately, happily. It's done. It's not like by fear or force or like obligation. None. It's all done with so much like courage that's been generated by thinking relationship between us and thinking the preciousness and thinking the opportunities because of this life. There's so much courage has been generated that you feel like you can't do. Even though it seems like, because like a few years ago, that idea seems like impossible, now looks like it's quite possible, like that kind of point. So I think self-cherishing, Tibetan called Rang Jinji, that has negative connotations, Rang Jinji. Taking care of yourself does not have negative connotations. Of course you have to take care of yourself. There's nothing wrong. So what I'm hoping here, maybe is just draw the line between taking care of yourself and self-cherishing needs to be clearly distinguished. Make sure no confusions. Or taking care of yourself, in our language, it doesn't call self-cherishing. Self-cherishing is rang chinji, means only thinking of yourself, that's all. There's zero for others, there's nothing. So that causes problems. So there's nothing for others. Everything has to be for yourself. That kind of attitude, that kind of like thinking, that caring yourself, it creates more problems. So that's what's called self-cherishing or rangchenji. So now that, based on that, as I said, in Buddhism, putting other self before, it doesn't start with the path. It comes along after the, sometimes it comes after the path. It doesn't start, it doesn't begin with that. If it begins with that, there's tons of problems. You know, like if you have no clue how to take care of yourself, not then putting others before you, that causes problems too. So therefore, first section, second sections, the last sections is there called Maya path. So there you talk about bodhicitta, helping every living beings. Then that last part of the Lamrim has like 600 pages. This is the last part. It doesn't begin with that. It begins with the understanding of nature of samsara, yourself, relationship between you and other, causality, why things are happening, all trying to figure out why this thing doesn't go the way I want. Human problems. Don't be surprised. Human problem. Does that mean it always happen? No, it doesn't happen all the time. It does happen once in a while. Don't be surprised. It's human problems. Kind of reduce the stress. Oh, there's no surprise. There's no surprise. This 8 human complication is expected. It's only a matter of time, expected. Oh, getting old doesn't happen right away, but it will happen. Or sickness may not happen, but when it happened, that was expected. So understanding of your own existence, inside out, very clearly, so then when you look at other human beings, same problems, same issues. Okay, so then putting others before yourself, it begins in the very end of the Lamrim, last sections of the Lamrim. So, according to Buddha's teaching, so I'm sure I'm right, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Taking care of yourself doesn't consider self-cherishing. That you have to take care of yourself. So this idea of self-love is, I think, whole this discussion of self-love. Oh, that's it. Now the self-grasping, that's a little bit tricky. That's a little bit different than self-cherishing. It's much more deeper level, self-grasping. According to Buddhism, that is the one is root of all the problems. Why is like root of all the problems? Because very self that we are grasping, we may not understand that self very well. Maybe you're grasping so tightly on something that you don't understand. Maybe it's like castle that built by sand. Because it's not reliable. So therefore, now that leads back to the meditation of shunyata. That meditation needs to begin with the self. How to do? You sit. There's the small fish, as I mentioned, when our meditation becomes like water, the small fish analyze what is self. What is self? Now you ask, it's not that complicated. You ask yourself, what is self? Maybe you have idea about yourself. That may not be the self. Then you are grabbing so tightly on that, maybe there's no self. Maybe that doesn't exist as a self, it's just something else. So now what's your answer? What is self? Where to look? You don't look here, right? We don't look here, we don't never think this is self. We don't look here. Where you look? Here. What we have? We have body, physical body. There's so many things inside. There's many things, hand, hair, eye, many things that outside you see. And inside there are many things that you have some kind of knowledge, even though you never seen that you have some understanding. Liver, kidney, you have some understanding. So what else you have? Emotions, ability to distinguish, to feel, just analyze. How? The meditation began like this. Am I my teeth? That I take care so much, I spend so much money. Am I my teeth? What's your answer? Then you go through each one of them. Where is your idea of self now? Where it went? Your idea of self, or Gishigelek, where that went? Oh, I'm so angry, I'm so happy, I'm so disturbed. That very I, what is it? What is it? We say all the time, did we ever bother to analyze that? When you are about to fall off the cliff, you don't say, oh, my body is about to fall. You don't say, my emotions are about to fall. You don't say, my mind is about to fall. You say, I am about to fall. At that moment, what do you mean I? Are you referring to your body, or your feeling, or your knowledge? What is it? But it's quite important to understand why, because we become so attached to that identity, self. So from there, so then my family, my people, my country, my religion, then it gets kind of more complicated. So that's self-grasping, that little bit deeper than self-cherishing, a little bit deeper, self-grasping. So then why in Buddhism, why it's so important to identify the true nature of self? Because so much has been built on that notion of self. So much, but right from the beginning, you become attached to self. Therefore, it's so important to understand what you are attached to. So important to understand. You can't just go along with that idea. So that we analyze. Then your idea of self dismantles, disfigures, disshapes. What you ain't. So that is the meditation called shunyata, meditation on shunyata. It needs to begin with the self, okay? So there's whole meditations. First, try to make yourself settle down, all the consciousness submerge. Then your meditation becomes like still clear water. So then there's tiny fish, there's a wisdom. They analyze ultimate nature. Because according to Buddha, I'm not sure what you think, root of all the problems, the self-grasping, that's the root of all the problems. Just think, I'm not asking you to believe, I'm simply sharing my knowledge based on Buddhism, and you have every right to believe whatever you want to believe, but need to analyze. What is the root of all the problems? What is the root? If you think your neighbor is never going to finish, it's never going to end. Or is my president, is my country, or it's like that game has been played since from beginning this time to till now. No result. Still doing the same thing, no result. So need to go to the right into the root. It's the self, how to identify that. Make sure that you understand the nature of self. It's not that something that you project it as a self, then believing there's a self, maybe not the best thing to solve all the problems, okay? This is, so I'm not sure how to answer this, I just explain. It's not answer, I just explain. So, these contradictions. So now, I don't know, in my mind, sorry, I don't see contradictions. Taking care of oneself, and you can put others self by taking care of yourself. Maybe that's the best way to do. That is the best way to do. You begin with taking care of yourself, so that eventually you learn why is putting others up before. So that needs to go step by step. There's stages to go there, okay? That's my opinion. So one more question, sorry, this is also important. My friend from Argentina, Suzanne, asked these questions, but she wrote many things. I only print the questions. This is also important. So then, please, your comment, okay? See, then she says, but the problem is if we love others above ourselves or first ourselves, then others. I just wanted to ask you for a long time this question. Do you think that happiness that we should seek for others and that also benefit us according to Buddhism imply that we would not think of ourselves, only of others? Maybe Linda, you read about that. Your English is 1,000 times better than mine. I don't know how to break the sentence. So this is like, if you can summarize that. Thank you.
I'll read it word for word first and then summarize it.
Okay, very good.
But the problem is, if we love others above ourselves, or first ourselves and then others. So that's the problem. Which one? Do we love others first, or do we love ourselves first? That's the problem. Do you think that the happiness that we should seek for others, and that also benefits us, according to Buddhism, implies that we should not think of ourselves and only of others? So I think here the question is, that we should, that the happiness that we seek for others implies that we should not think of ourselves and only of others. That is to say, I must help others even if they harm me, just so that they can be happy. There's a little bit more. Do you need to keep going?
Maybe first one summarize, please. Can you summarize first one?
Yeah, I think so. I'll try. So she's contemplating this question. Do we love others above ourselves first, or ourselves above others?
So as I said, like Suzanne, that comes in Buddhism, the teaching called Lamrim. First section, second section, third sections, putting up other people ourselves, that comes in the very end of the Lamrim. But it begins with understanding your existence and like how to see this life is so precious, so meaningful, so difficult to find, and understanding all of that. So then kind of like ease like many unnecessary stress that just develop by having wrong idea. Sorry to say, wrong idea about like, things should not change, I don't like change, you are changing, I don't like. There's nothing you can do. People change, mind change, day change, season change, weather change, climate change. We are all talking about. Of course, climate will change, the weather will change. There's nothing you can do. Change is part of the cycle of life. It's a good thing. If there's nothing changed, I think the world is not going to be a better place. So nothing changed. I think change is good. Change is good. So like that. So then after that, slowly, then you understand, like why this is happening? Why this thing going wrong? Why this, that? I used to think like it's my country or my neighbor or my friend or my wife or my husband. Turns out it's causality. Causality. Like planting like the habanero seed and hoping to see mango. There'll be no mango. What happened? Oh, the seed you planted is not mango seed, it's habanero seed. The habanero will grow, not mango. Or maybe how's about if I put some sugar around that? No, it's still going to be habanero, it's not going to be mango. That. So everybody needs to take responsibility for their actions and accept and take responsibility. If you don't like what you do, purify them. Purify. Same like if you don't like the dirty dishes in your sink, what do? Clean them. Or just sit there and complain, oh, my sink is full of dirty dishes, telling your friend, telling your neighbor, doesn't help. Need to show some actions that get me clean, like that, exactly like that. If you don't like that, you feel like your conscience has been like, polluted or like contaminated. What do as a Buddhist? You purify them, you clean them. So then if there's something you can do for anything, there's something you can do. Okay, so then the putting of others then come first.
Okay, so I think you answered the first part.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to ask, I must help others even if they harm me so that they can be happy?
That's kind of a little bit like deep questions, deep in the sense for emotionally, kind of deep. So, yeah, of course, if you are bodhisattva, so like, so mentally needs to be ready. Mentally needs to be ready. Don't just think, oh, that's a wonderful idea, I should do. No, mentally needs to be prepared. Or in like, not in reading the book, in our life, we hear, or people give kidney or liver, kidney. People donate. That's not small things. Giving a part of your body is not small things. That person needs to be mentally prepared. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Anybody can do. No, not anybody can, everybody can do. They require some serious thinking, courage, determinations. One of the Buddha's lifetime, he offered himself to the mother tiger to save the, what's it called, tiger's baby? Cubs. Because the mother is about to eat the cub because so hungry, can't bear the pain witnessing that, offer myself. Wow, we need to be mentally prepared. If you are not mentally prepared, what do? Protect yourself. Same case here. If somebody is hurting you, if you are not mentally prepared, what do you need to do? You need to protect yourself. Once you are mentally prepared, you don't need protection. Your mental readiness is your protection. It's not going to hurt you. So till we reach that, Maya path says that even though it's caused my own life, you should still help that other person. Needs to be mentally 100% prepared. When you reach that, like mother can do anything for their child, that kind of readiness is there, it won't hurt. Till then, am I making this up? No, I'm not making this up. Who said Shantideva, Master Shantideva, who wrote Guide to Buddhist Way of Life? Master Shantideva or Arya Asanga, one of them, said in the text, Tang Sung Takpel Tang. If it's possible, just keep whatever, life, anything, just keep. If you are not ready, protect. Tang Sung means protect. Protect. That applies to both life, feeling, possessions, wealth, everything. Indirectly, it means like first you need to take care of yourself. So then other, So the second, I think, Suzanne's question is quite deep. I think when you start to hurt your feeling, you are not mentally prepared. You are not mentally prepared. Does that mean I'm failure? No. It takes time. It builds up stages by step by step. It takes time to reach there. You can't pretend, if you are not mentally ready, you can't pretend I'm ready. It is not good. So, second part of the question, if someone is hurting you,
Yeah, that's the part you just answered. I must help others even if they harm me,
yeah,
just so
so
they can be happy. So-
in that case, if you are not mentally 100% ready, you need to protect. There has to have boundary. You know, you can say, oh, my patience stretched thin, my love stretched thin. Then, you know, there's like limit. After it goes only half mile. Even after half mile, there's nothing more to go. It's finished. So then, you know, then it start again. That needs to go beginning of the half mile, then maybe slowly. Maybe hoping this will stretch like that. So mentally need to be prepared. Mental readiness is very important to do this kind of, you know, Mayana practice, Bodhisattva practice. This whole life, you know, you are mentally preparing yourself. That's King Timekunde. So then when you look at is this whole, what you call like, the life story about Timekunde. Timekunde, that's the name of one king. Was born in a very rich royal family, and eventually he's like, the moment he was born, he's always about giving, you know. So it's been giving and giving and giving. So then all the, I think like ministers, they go to the king. So now your son is giving everything to people. So eventually we end up with nothing if you let him do that like that all the time. Then father is so loved to this son. Father doesn't say much and say, but they have one precious jewel that's very, what you call in Tibetan, called wish-fulfilling jewel. This very particular jewel the king father possessed, inherited from his father, run from family lineage. He says, this is the only thing you cannot give. Anything else you have permission to give. Eventually he gave also this to somebody else. So then he was kicked out from the house, from the kingdom, because all the ministers got so upset. So then now, very person who begged that, came to beg that wolf-vision jewel is another kingdom who's like challenging their kingdom, sent it, maybe some kind of spy, I'm not sure, sent it by other kingdom. They heard, oh, King Timur to give everything away. So then, you know, sent that, then they took now, another kingdom has that, you know, that jewel. So then he was kicked out from because so much precious minister put on king, so eventually father, it's the rules of the country that you have to obey, so you need to go. Then the wife and the two kids, and eventually they give away the kids, the wife and everything, like, and eventually give away the eyes, like, it's hard to watch that, the life story of the Timur Kunda, but I think that king was mentally prepared. But eventually, everything came back. Even the eyes that was given came back, vision came back. People brought their kid back to them. People who like begged the wife, that bring back the wife, so as a servant. They all brought it back. And it was good ending, very good ending, but beginning kind of like emotional, hard to watch, like all kind of emotions, right? Why you do that? Why you give it to your kids? Little kid have no idea. Why you give it to somebody else for a servant? For us, doesn't make sense. Why you do that? That king is mentally prepared. He keeps saying, this will do good for all of us, not just me. This is the right things to do. This is the best things. He's saying this again. Eventually, all came back to the kingdom. So then also taught Dharma teachings to parents. Then everything went very well. So like that, mentally need to be prepared, Suzanne, mentally. Mental readiness is very much needed in order to give love, even though someone is hurting you, that you need to be mentally ready, 100% ready. If not, protect yourself. Okay? All right? Oh, yeah. So now, not much time, sorry. So, we have any announcement? Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh,
Yeah,
Robbie
so-
has one.
So then, like next Sunday, I promise we start with the discussions. So we are about to very close, as just Linda said, to creating this outline for self-love meditation. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe. Just a very brief announcement. Remind people that our annual appeal is in progress. There are flyers out by the front door, and our only source of income is from people who come to the center and find the teachings helpful in their lives. And if you would like to support the continued presence of these wonderful teachings here, right in our own backyard, this is how we support the presence of 2 qualified Geshis here in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is incredible. It's how we pay for the building and the grounds and for the wonderful visiting teachers that we've had for the last few weeks. So I'd encourage you to take a little bit of personal responsibility. If you find the teachings beneficial, please support them. There's no other way that we exist except through the generosity of those who come to the center. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, just
One
go
more
on.
minute, one more announcement.
Just a reminder, we're still collecting eyeglasses, used prescription or reading glasses. If you say, well, I don't wear glasses, what can I contribute? We always can use a lot of reading glasses and sunglasses that for the free healthcare clinic that the Satya Sai community puts on in September. And if you have any healthcare providers, especially dentists or eye care doctors, they're really needing some volunteers for that one day on September 14th, I think it is, it's a Saturday. Thank you.
This Saturday, September 14th?
Yeah, you said September, yeah, September 14th
Oh, okay.
for volunteering healthcare providers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
More to come on that as we get closer.
Okay, please turn to page 246, and let's recite the dedication verses from Shanti Deva. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with the mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food, may the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy, may the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now on page 244 and 245, the long life prayers. First for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And on page 245 for Khyentse Rinpoche, Jetsun Losang Down. The master's speech at a very young age. The one with great patience received the name Avatara. The one with great precision to spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa and Bliss and Void, Lama ornament of the yellow hat tradition. Please remain until samsara ends. And then on the inside back cover for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, peerless teacher and assembly of the children of victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyekabulas, victorious Losang, father and sons, along with the lineage masters. All the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, where the armor of patience that is never discouraged, incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make requests, while striving single-pointedly for the sake of victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. And then the inside front cover, first for Geshe-la. Supreme God, you lead us on the many paths of virtue. A shining sun, you give us the best of excellent explanations. Supreme virtuous friend, you are a constant Dharma companion. Lama, who is renounced fame, may you ever remain. And then for Geshe Sampo, you have steadfast imprints of virtuous qualities, and keep the instructions of the glorious Guru in your heart. You who pass day and night with noble activities, great virtuous friend, may you have a very long life. And then 7 Tara mantras for all beings. Om Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re So Ha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice Sunday. Have a nice Sunday.
Gracias, Daniel, cariño. Gracias. Gracias.
Thanks, everyone online. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much.